These are my 3 absolute best ways to get rid of your joint pain. The reason why I'm making this video is because I'm a gym owner and I see so many young people in their 20s and 30s wearing knee bands, knee straps, wristbands and elbow support. And when you ask them, oh, my knees are sore, and you say to them, you know what, it could be with your diet, but they find it very difficult to relate to understand what I'm saying. I want you to try what I'm suggesting and see if it helps you, because it helped me and it's helped so many of my clients as well. The first thing I did was remove all the carbs out of my diet. Now, when I say carbs, I'm talking about the oats that you eat in the morning, which contains gluten. Most of your joint pain, especially when you're young, you're in your 20s and that, it's due to inflammation. I say most of what's wrong with that is due to inflammation and poor gut health. If you're eating something like oats or eating bagels or eating bread and you're trying to bulk, they contain gluten, very, very highly inflammatory foods. Your body cannot digest gluten, and that's the reason why you've got that. Now, my knees feel better than they did when I was in my 30s. You know, my elbows feel better than they did when I was in my 30s. I'd worn wrist straps for years. Now I don't wear them anymore. And first thing I did, number one, was take all my carbohydrates out. So I took the carbohydrates out, the porridge, the rice, and bread. That's it. Carbohydrates not the only energy source that's available to your body. There are other energy sources, which is going to lead me to the second one. Now, replace all your carbohydrates with fats. When I talk about fats, I mean animal fat. You know, if you watch my videos on social media, you see me actually buying steak with a lot of fat on it. I buy chicken, I have the skin on it, and I eat lots of eggs. So number 2, replace all the carbohydrates with good fats. When I say good fats, like I said, avocado, olives, nuts, cheese, all those will do. You can still use fatty acids and protein to build muscle, because that's what I learned at the beginning in the early 80s, until the supplement companies came along and confused us, because all the magazines were owned by supplement companies. 6 meals a day, high carbohydrate and low fat. There was a time when I would buy a piece of steak and then I'd block all the fat off it because I didn't want to eat the fat. You see, that was just crazy, because your body needs fat. Even to build muscle, you need the fat. So replace all your carbohydrates with fats, lots of animal fat. When you do that, you become fat adapted. That means your body would have learned to use both carbohydrates and fats to build your muscle. You see, the fat that you eat is called lipids, and the fat that you've got stored in you is called adipose tissue. So basically, you can eat those lipids to teach your body to use both carbohydrates and fats, because most of us bodybuilders, we are metabolically inflexible. That means our bodies are only used to getting its energy mainly from carbs. And I'm saying that if you switch it to fats, your body will learn how to, use both fats and carbohydrates, and you find that you have more energy, and you find that most of your joint pain will go away, because you don't get inflamed. Your cells don't get inflamed from eating fats. That's what we are meant to eat as human beings predominantly. It's a better energy source. Most of the carbohydrates that you eat, they are all full of other stuff, and especially in the fitness industry. I think the reason why we got it so bad, especially with the bodybuilders, people are trying to build muscle, is because the trainers, the guys online who don't know what they're talking about, they're telling you to eat all these squares, bars, and all these, eat cereal. That's not food. You may be able to build the muscle that you're building, but there will be consequences. Switch from carbs to fats and see how good you feel. Now, the third one is reduce your meal frequency. You want to try and reduce your insulin level all the way throughout the day. This is what I learned in bodybuilding. Throughout the day, you need your insulin level to be down, because you need to be insulin sensitive. When you're insulin sensitive, your cells can store more amino acids. When you're eating all those highly carbohydrate foods, you become insulin resistant to some degree. You don't know that you are, because that's why you're taking all the drugs and you're training and stuff like that, but it's a more efficient way. The reason why you got those sore joints is because your body is warning you. So what I say is that reduce your meal frequency. I say maximum 4 a day. I wrote all of this in my muscle building ebook. It's in my bio in various social media platforms. Check it out, because it shows you how to stick to just 3 or 4 meals a day, a very high fat, high protein, and some vegetables. And then basically before you train, you have a little bit of carbs before and after training. You feel like a racehorse. And with that, there will not be any inflammation. Remember, points 1 and 2, the reason why you've got all these sore joints and sore knees and sore elbows and sore wrists is because there's too much inflammation in your body. Your body's inflamed, your cells are inflamed. That's why they complain. I always had a problem with my right knee. Whenever I was doing leg press or squatting, I was always aware of it. All that disappeared because I changed my diet. So what I'm trying to say is, if you've got sore joints, instead of thinking, I got to take painkillers all the time, it's an inflammation. There's something that you're doing to cause inflammation. Stop doing it. And please don't say, no, I'm bodybuilding, I have to eat this. My experience tells me that there's a better way, there's an easier way, and there's a more effective way. Teach your body to become fat adapted so that you can use both fats and carbohydrates and protein to build your muscle. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to our channel, because it helps us grow so we can provide more content for you.